Hey YouTube, it's Crystal from Wanna Be a Loser VSG. I am coming to you today to do my consults video that I promised I would do, assuming I ever post any of this, which I'm still not sure I'm going to. I tried to do it the day of the consult, but I have two little kids, and I was there for several hours meeting with the surgeon and the dietitian and going through paperwork and just the whole 9 yards. So it didn't get done that day. So it's a few days later. I went to my consult on December the 1st at Sage Bariatric Institute in San Antonio, Texas, and I met with Dr. Gonzalez, who will be my surgeon. And yeah, it was a really good meeting. I gave him my whole medical history before we even went. And he looked it over and said he thought that I was a pretty much textbook candidate, and that if I hadn't already requested this leave, that he would have recommended that for me based upon my information and my health history and all that. So that was good to hear, that he agreed with my assessment, my non-medical opinion, that the sleeve was the right choice for me. And yeah, I mean, it was basically just talking it over with him. He, of course, made sure that I understood what the surgery was and the risks and just the drastic lifestyle change that has to occur. And they are willing to schedule me whenever, since I'm a self-pay patient. I don't have to jump through any hoops for insurance purposes, which is nice. He did say that while he would not require me to lose any weight prior to the surgery, he did say that every pound I lost between now and then would only be a benefit to me. So it'll just give me a jump start, basically. But he said he wouldn't require a level of weight loss like some surgeons do, which is nice. I weighed in. My official weight at the appointment was 294 point, I wrote it down, I think it was 294.6. I'll have to double check that. I'll put my stats in the box below. So my highest recorded weight for myself, which I have a feeling it was higher, was 298. And that is kind of what precipitated the process of me finally going to talk to a surgeon. So I have managed to lose 4 pounds since then. He said I had an excellent chance of success and a very low chance of risk. I don't have hypertension, I don't have diabetes, I don't have, any comorbidities that would complicate the surgery itself. So really my success as far as how much weight I can lose is just going to be on me after the surgery. So on one hand, that's very encouraging, and on the other hand, it's very intimidating. It is what it is. So they're willing to schedule me whenever. My husband is currently working out of the country, so for some odd reason, he wants me to wait until he gets back instead of having surgery while he's out of the country. Can't imagine why that would be. So at this point, we're just waiting to find out when he's going to be back. He's overseas for work right now, so we were not given a specific time period that he was going to be gone. At this point, our best guess is end of January 2018. So at this point, I'm anticipating having the surgery end of January, first half of February in 2018. It's December right now, so I'm kind of bummed that I have to wait even that long, but I'll know a little bit more once we find out for sure when my husband is coming back. They said they only need like 2 weeks lead time to schedule it on their end. and to have the payment clear. And because since I'm self-pay, I have to pay, has to be cleared within like at least 10 days prior to the surgery. So, that gives me time to get them paid and prove that, yes, I do have money in my bank account. The great thing about this particular institute is their offices are in a surgical hospital. And that surgical hospital just opened an ambulatory surgical center, or an outpatient surgical center, downstairs. So, in any case where it's safe to do so, they actually will do like sleeves and lap bands as outpatient procedures. And I say outpatient, they keep you for 23 hours, so you do stay overnight for observation, but because it's under 24 hours, it is considered outpatient for insurance purposes. So it's significantly cheaper. It knocks about $5,000 off the price. So yay for self-pay patients. That's wonderful news. So as of right now, that is the plan for me. He said I'm a perfect candidate for that. I've been under general anesthesia more than once. I've had bunion surgery and some dental work done that was under anesthesia, and I've also had a cesarean section, so I've had abdominal surgery before. Now, obviously, I was awake for that with just a spinal, but he said basically if you've already had abdominal surgery, then recovery from the sleeve should be very easy, which was encouraging to hear. That's kind of what I had guessed from some of the YouTube videos that I've watched, and I've watched a bajillion. But the general consensus seems to be that people think it's a breeze, or people think it's horribly painful. And by and large, from what I can tell, not claiming this is 100%, but the people who seem to think that it's extraordinarily painful have not had abdominal surgery before, either cesarean or, gallbladder or any of that. Whereas the people who seem to think that it's not painful or not very painful are people that have had abdominal surgery in the past. So, that's basically, he confirmed that that's essentially the case. Obviously, exceptions happen to every rule, but overall. So I'm anticipating, at least I have in my head now, like, okay, I have an idea of how it's going to feel, and I'm a little bit more confident in that now, because I do have 2 young kids. So, I can't lay around for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks recovering. As nice as that would be, it ain't gonna happen. So, that's pretty much it. At this point, it's just gonna be waiting to find out when my husband's gonna get back and schedule it. And then we'll be here in San Antonio for another week and a half after surgery until my post-op visit with the surgeon. And then he said, assuming everything is fine and then you're not having any complications, all of our follow-ups after that, both with him and the dietitian, can be done over the phone, since I am from out of state. And he said he's actually got multiple patients out of state, so they're well aware and have a process set up for healing, because the price is all inclusive for a year's follow-up, both with him and the dietitian. So I definitely want to be able to take advantage of that. Oh, that was what else we did. I had to sit through basically like an introduction or orientation session with the dietitian, nutritionist, whatever she called herself, I can't remember. That was basically, here, this is what your life is going to look like afterward, and you have to be committed to it. And if you're not, then don't have the surgery. So, it wasn't really any new information if you've watched any YouTube videos at all about this type of thing. But, it was good to just kind of get a feel for what they require and what they want you to do. And I do have to do a 1-week liquid diet pre-op for the liver shrinking thing, which isn't even really full liquid diet. It's 2 protein shakes and a very, very, very small meal of lean meat and vegetables a day. So not fully liquid, but close to. And then from the day of surgery to my post-op visit is a full liquid diet. And then once he clears me post-op, I'll be able to start the soft foods and pureed foods and that sort of thing. And it will be that for a month. And then after that, moving on to solid foods. So yeah, overall, it was just good to kind of get a feel. I really liked him a lot. He was very friendly, very matter of fact. He had a great manner, which, you know, it's hard to say, but a lot of surgeons really don't. In my experience, you know, surgeons tend to look at you as a piece of meat or the body and what they can do to it and what they need to do to it, rather than focusing on you as a person, mentally and emotionally. Not every surgeon, please don't hear me say that it's every surgeon, but I have met a few surgeons in my time, and by and large, they had the worst bedside manner of any doctor I've ever dealt with. So, it was nice that he was very engaging and very approachable and very, I mean, he was willing to sit in that room and talk to me as long as I needed, which was also nice because some of the other surgeons I've dealt with are kind of get in, discuss the surgery, get out, you're done. You know, if you have questions, talk to the nurse. So it was very nice to talk to him. So anyway, this video has gone on more than long enough. That's where I stand right now, and I will update again once I finally know when my surgery date will be. Thanks, you guys.